You've heard of Finding Nemo. Today we're going to fly a bush plane from Lone Pine, California, and we're going to try to find Cerro Gordo. Cerro Gordo, which means fat hill in Spanish, is located in the Inyo Mountains at an elevation of 8,500 feet, and it's just east of Keeler, California. Discovery of the silver ore is credited to Pablo Flores, who began mining and smelting operations near the summit of Buena Vista Peak in 1865. So let's get up in the air. We're leaving Lone Pine at an elevation of 3,500 feet, and we'll be going up as high as 12,200 feet before our trip is over. Some ore was smelted on site, but larger capacity smelters were eventually constructed along the shore of nearby Owens Lake. This was the beginnings of the towns of Swansea and Keeler. That road you see off to the left is California State Highway 136. It goes past the towns of Dolomite, Swansea, and Keeler. Keeler is where you can turn east off of Highway 136 and head up the county-maintained gravel unimproved road for 8 miles up to Cerro Gordo. In the summer of 2019, the property was purchased by a group of investors led by Brent Underwood and his business partner, John Byer. The goal of the investors is to keep the town open for tourism and for the preservation of the rich mining history in the area. To that end, the Cerro Gordo Historical Foundation was created to preserve and improve the townsite of Cerro Gordo. If you'd like to donate to that cause, you may make a tax-deductible contribution to the Cerro Gordo Historical Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. Just ahead is the aforementioned Owens Lake, and pretty soon we'll be able to see the town of Keeler. The little dark spot under the wheels of the airplane is the town of Keeler. On the far right side of the frame, you can see the gravel road that heads up to Cerro Gordo. So you know how when you're driving up a steep mountain, sometimes they put switchbacks in the road so that your change in elevation is not quite so great all at one time. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to be going back and forth across the face of the Inyo Mountains as I climb up to the elevation I need to get to Cerro Gordo. at about 600 feet a minute, and I just hit 8,500 feet. Off the right wing, down on the shore of Owens Lake, is the town of Keeler. That's going to be a real good landmark for us. And by the way, the Owens Lake is now a dry lake bed. That is, unless you are Microsoft. It's kind of hard to make out, but inside that little red circle is the road going up to Cerro Gordo. And the road is in the center of the frame here, along with Keeler off in the distance. And here's the road again going up into the mountains. You can see the road going up and Cerro Gordo off in the distance, and we'll fly in and get a bit closer. Mind you, all these buildings were done from satellite photographs, actually done by Bing. It's amazing to me how they captured this 3D imagery with these little buildings nestled up in the mountains. That large brown building you see is the American Hotel. Sadly, in the night of June 15th, a fire broke out in the hotel and burned it to the ground along with 2 other buildings. There's a GoFundMe page, which I'm going to put a link to in the video description if you'd like to help rebuild that hotel. Well, that's pretty much it for the trip up to Cerro Gordo. I'm off to the airport at Inyo Mountains, which is probably about 100 miles away from here, so I won't bore you with that part of the trip. But I do hope that you'll give some thought to supporting the guys up at Cerro Gordo. They're really trying to do a lot for the preservation of mining history. So hope you enjoyed the flight. Hope it was informative. See you around.